If you're like most business owners, you've probably thought about redesigning your website at some point to give it a more modern, polished look or to upgrade how it performs. And sometimes a full website redesign really is the right move. But in many cases, especially if your site already looks pretty good, there's another way to upgrade and modernize your site without changing the design at all. I'm talking about adding a custom AI chatbot. It's one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways to make your site more helpful, more interactive, and even more trustworthy without spending thousands or taking several months for a full site rebuild. In this video, I'm going to show you what these new AI chatbots can actually do, how they're different from the clunky, basically useless bots you might have seen before, and why AI chatbots might be the upgrade your website's been missing. Now, just to be clear, if your website already looks clean, professional, and on brand, that still matters. A polished site is still a big part of how people judge your business. But expectations keep evolving. Think back to the early 2000s. Having a website was a bonus. Not everyone had one yet, and it wasn't necessarily expected. But that changed quickly. Eventually, not having a website made you seem less legitimate. Then around 2012 or 2013, mobile-friendly websites became the new standard. At first, having a mobile version of your site was a nice to have. Now it's expected. And if your site doesn't work on a phone, most people are gone in seconds. And we're seeing that shift again, this time with real-time interaction. Visitors don't just want to read about your business, they want help. They want answers, they want directions, and they want it right now. That's why the best websites today don't just look good, they do something. They respond, they guide, they engage. And that's exactly where a smart AI chatbot can make a big difference. Now, if the word chatbot makes you roll your eyes a little, I get it. We've all been on those websites where a little chat bubble pops up and says, "Hi, how can I help you today?" But no matter what you type in, it either doesn't understand you or it just gives you a canned, generic response. It's frustrating, and honestly, most of those older bots just didn't work very well. So if you're thinking, yeah, chatbots are kind of a joke, you're not wrong. But things have changed. Modern AI chatbots are a completely different experience. Instead of giving you a generic reply or forcing you to pick from a menu, they actually understand what you're asking in plain English. They can hold a natural conversation, respond with relevant answers, even ask smart follow-up questions when it makes sense. It feels less like talking to a robot and more like texting with a smart assistant who actually knows your business. Plus, they're available 24/7. They don't get tired, and they never forget how you train them. Now, you might be wondering, how does your AI chatbot actually know what to say? Well, it does not come preloaded with generic information. You actually train it using content from your own business, like your website copy, FAQs, intake forms, brochures, that kind of stuff. It learns how your business works, what services you offer, and how you typically answer questions. Even the tone you want to use, whether it's friendly and conversational or more direct and professional. Training an AI chatbot is kind of like onboarding a new assistant. You teach it once and then it shows up every day, ready to work, no reminders, no retraining, no sick days. And yes, people will sometimes test your chatbot with random questions, off-topic stuff, or even inappropriate comments, but you can train it to handle those moments too, calmly, professionally, and without getting thrown off track. And here's something most people overlook about AI chatbots. Even if someone doesn't use your chatbot, just seeing it there changes how they feel about your business. It quietly sends a message that you're modern, up-to-date, and invested in giving visitors the best possible experience while they're using your website. So even before someone types a word into your chatbot, it's already doing its job. So now let me give you a few real-world examples of how an AI chatbot can actually help, because this isn't just about automating a few FAQs or answering, what time do you close for the 100th time? If you're a dentist, for example, your chatbot can answer insurance questions, explain your new patient process, and help someone decide if you're a good fit, all without them having to call or dig through your website. If you run a law firm, it can screen for the types of cases you handle, explain what to expect next, and politely steer away the tire kickers. If you're in home services like HVAC, plumbing, or landscaping, the chatbot can confirm if you cover their geographic area, explain your process, and even help schedule a callback or an appointment. If you're a financial advisor, a coach, or a consultant, it can walk people through your services, answer common questions, and send serious leads straight to your calendar. Of course, those are just a few examples. The real power comes from training your chatbot on your materials so it reflects your services, your process, and your tone of voice. So it's not just some cute little widget that sits in the corner of your screen. It's a real tool that saves you time, handles repetitive questions, and makes it easier for good prospects to take the next step. Now, if you're thinking, sure, this sounds great, but an AI chatbot probably costs a fortune. Well, you're not alone. A lot of business owners assume this kind of tech is only for big companies with deep pockets. But in reality, it's more affordable than you might realize. In many cases, the initial setup and chatbot training is just a few $100s, and the ongoing cost and maintenance of the chatbot, usually under $100 per month. Adding a custom AI chatbot to your website is not about adding some flashy new tech just to impress people. It's about solving real everyday problems, saving time, handling repetitive questions, and helping more visitors take action without extra effort from you. And just the fact that you have an AI chatbot on your website instantly elevates how your business is perceived. It shows you're current and engaged and not stuck in 2015. So maybe you're thinking, okay, a custom AI chatbot for my website actually sounds useful, but how would I even go about getting one of these things set up? Well, here's the good news. You do not need to rebuild your site. You don't need to switch platforms, and you definitely don't need to learn how to code. Most modern AI chatbots are actually hosted off-site. That means all the training, all the processing, and heavy lifting, that all happens behind the scenes. And the finished chatbot is simply streamed onto your website using a small embed code, kind of like a YouTube video or an online calendar. If you want to explore what's out there, just search for something on Google like AI chatbot for website, and you'll find plenty of companies offering different approaches. At my office, we've spent the past several months investing a lot of time, research, and money into building and training custom AI chatbots specifically designed for service-based businesses, and we'll be rolling out that service very soon. So if you'd like to be notified when that service is available, there's a link in the description below. So the bottom line is this. When it comes to upgrading your website, you do not always need a total overhaul to make it more effective. I mean, in some cases, yes, a complete site makeover is needed. But if your site is already pretty good, the smart move might be adding a custom AI chatbot, something you can have up and running in days, not weeks or months. And if you're curious about more tools that can help you do more with less, this next video dives into exactly that, and you can watch that right here.